Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Manuel. It's officially race weekend at the Glen. Let's hear now from some racing fans who our Maggie Hall had the chance to speak with today.
I'm here at Watkins Glen International to talk to some fans about why they love racing and race weekend.
First time I came up was with my mom. We sat in the 90s, her first NASCAR race ever. I'll never forget it because third lap, Kyle Busch got spun out by Bubba Wallace. Everyone was on their feet. But my favorite thing is honestly the community in the camping area. It just makes the whole thing. There's a lot of really nice people, and you really get to meet a lot of interesting people.
The fans, just the adventure, the fans, the excitement. That's the best thing. And the smell of race gas.
The environment. I mean, how can you hate on this environment? Everyone's nice to each other. We're driving around, talking to each other. I'm walking around here laughing with people, up in arms, and just like excitement and just enthusiasm out the roof. Out the roof.
Wow. Probably the camaraderie. You know, we get in here with all of our friends. We come out, have a couple beers, watch some racing.
And my favorite thing for this weekend is going to see Michael McDowell win 2 in a row on the road courses. So I think he can do it.
This race weekend, seeing my boys, hanging out with everyone, and catching a good race, hopefully on Sunday. Of course tonight and tomorrow as well, but just the whole weekend, it's a great experience.
The excitement, the fans, the party right here at Watkins Glen, people like this right here. It's always about going bowling at the Glen.
I would have to agree with everything he said. The energy here reminds me a lot of bowling. I'm the professional bowler here representing Go Bowling. Come see us at the 10th all weekend. I'm really looking forward to watching the race this weekend and meeting all the great fans here. And yeah, having a beer or two afterwards.
I love the racing. I love the competition. The bumping is the best, and spinning out is even better.
Be sure to tune in on Monday for our full coverage of NASCAR weekend. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Watkins Glen.
Let's take a look at your forecast for race day. Here's meteorologist Alyssa Triplett with that.
Good evening. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day across the area, and at Watkins Glen we're looking at temperatures just around time of race start. We see highs hitting just around those low to mid 70s, and that's where we'll hover throughout much of the race. So looking a little fall-like, especially as we'll get a little bit of that northwesterly wind up to about 15 miles per hour. That will continue that fall-like feel. But as we have that sunshine around, we will see some warming in that extended outlook, and I'll have our full forecast in a few minutes.
Wegmans shoppers who have recently used their credit card at the grocery store should be on the lookout for additional charges on their accounts. Wegmans announced that they discovered the issue for any transactions processed as credit on August 16th. This issue applies to in-store and online orders. Some customers were double charged on their credit cards. The company is looking to reverse the issue. Anyone who has seen the duplicate charges can expect them to be remedied in the next couple of days. Chemung County has launched a new program to help battle opioid overdoses in the area. Chemung County will be launching End OD, an overdose prevention text messaging program. The program will provide multiple resources to users just by texting End ODNY to 55753. People will receive messages on how to access treatment in the area, how to obtain and use naloxone, and how to address addiction with loved ones. Elmira College has been named one of the best by Princeton Review. The school was ranked as one of the nation's best undergraduate and regional colleges. Elmira College was featured in the Princeton Review's 2024 edition of the Best 389 Colleges. Only 15% of America's four-year colleges are recognized in this guide. New York City Mayor Eric Adams wants permission from the federal government to house migrants in a Manhattan jail that is now closed. The Metropolitan Correctional Center shut down 2 years ago, following years of complaints over dangerous conditions. City Hall has expressed interest in using the empty lockup. The Federal Bureau of Prisons, which runs the facility, says it cannot comment. Complaints about the jail included floods of sewage, vermin infestations, COVID-19 outbreaks, and security breaches. About 1,000 migrants are arriving in New York City every day, overwhelming the city's shelter system. Search teams on Maui continue the grueling task of combing through ash and debris from last week's deadly wildfires. It comes as Hawaiian officials are facing new questions about their response to the crisis. Robert Ray has more.
As the death toll climbs on the island of Maui, there's mounting criticism over the response to these deadly wildfires, including a decision made by local officials not to sound disaster sirens.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not.
One day after defending that decision, the head of Maui's emergency management agency resigned, citing health reasons. He claims many residents would have gone inland and into the flames if the alarm sounded, a strategy typically used before tsunamis. Hawaii's Attorney General will launch an independent review into state and local agencies, but some folks say there are bigger needs.
People need like food, they need clean water, they need, basic stuff like toilet paper and paper towels, baby wipes.
Nonprofits and volunteers on the island are stepping up, delivering meals to thousands of displaced people.
What's ahead is a lot more supplies, a lot more resources, and a lot more expertise in mental health to deal with this trauma long term.
Meanwhile, search efforts have expanded from the historic town of Lahaina to other oceanside communities. Cadaver dogs and rescuers have scoured more than half of the burn area, and crews now facing their biggest task, trying to identify and process human remains, as anxious families want to hear from missing loved ones.
The families are healing, and it's a touchy situation right now.
And President Biden will travel to Maui on Monday to see the devastation for himself. In Maui, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
Matrimonial joys have turned to wedding bell blues as younger generations say they can't afford to get married. A survey by the Thriving Center of Psychology explains why the I do's of marriage are becoming can't do. The survey says about 75% of millennials and Gen Zers say they can't get married in the current economic climate. 85% say they don't think marriage is necessary for a committed relationship anyway. According to a study by The Knot, the average cost of a wedding last year was $30,000 due to inflation. That is $2,000 more compared to 2021. More than 900 people participated in the survey. Netflix is treating fans with one final send-off for its DVD subscription service. Subscribers of the company's DVD.com can take advantage of the service's final offer. The company will send users up to 10 extra DVDs before winding down the 25-year-old service. Netflix will mail out DVDs until September 29th and will accept returns until October 27th. Still ahead, we have your complete forecast. Plus, as temperatures increase, so do people's energy bills. How expensive it is to stay cool this summer.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
We're stepping into another summer weekend, and we will be able to enjoy this one. After staying pretty active over the last week, we finally get some quiet weather. But looking at yesterday's rainfall, we were tracking that potential for some stronger storms was more across that eastern regions of Pennsylvania into New York. When we're seeing that was just scanning past our local area. Those we were looking at some of the numbers closer to Binghamton, anywhere from inch to even 3-inch reports were being made, and we'll get those official numbers, especially as we did linger underneath some isolated showers and those gloomy skies today. But what we will see here is that we are heading into a quieter time period where a high pressure system is going to be our main dominating weather feature, but we'll still have some adjustments. Now, here through the overnight, we have temperatures dropping down into those 50s. That west-northwesterly wind still a little strong here at times. We're noting that we still have some wind gusts here, especially the early evening, getting upwards about 20 to 25 miles per hour. That is what's going to limit some of that fog potential we would see in these clear and cool mornings. That fog would be possible, but due to that stronger wind, that is going to limit that development as we will be approaching those low to mid 50s. Now, we'll step into the weekend with some beautiful conditions expected. We'll be a little more fall-like on Saturday, especially still keeping that west-northwesterly wind, but then we'll be back to more seasonal conditions on Sunday. And steering in those seasonal conditions, but still some cooler days, will be expected next week with some generally dry weather, but we're talking on a few weak systems. And when I talk weak systems, what we're seeing is that there's a few cold fronts that want to slide on through portions of the northeastern United States around a low pressure system that is across Canada. But as they emerge across our area, they are very dry, so we're not holding a lot for precipitation chances next week, but at least talking some passing cloud cover. And when those frontal systems push on through, it does bring some of that cooling from time to time. So that will be something we watch into next week. But into this weekend, as mentioned, tomorrow is expected to be more of a fall-like day, as we'll have that northwesterly wind. Again, it's still a little strong, but easing through the day with a high of about 76 degrees with mostly sunny skies. We'll see the sunshine should be across much of the area. So we see 75 there, as mentioned, into Watkins Glen. We have 73 there into Wayland, Westfield there around 73 degrees as well. As we head into Saturday night, note that those clear and calm skies will drop into those 50s. This time winds a little bit calmer, but they'll be switching, so we'll watch for the development of some of that patchy fog. But then Sunday is expected to be very seasonal, as we are looking at climbing into those 80s, may top off in those upper 80s. We'll be very dependent on that wind switch, as this is going to be the warmest part of New York, because quickly as we head from Sunday into Monday, we will be watching a cold front that is going to push that heat out and then bring us closer to those seasonably cool temperatures through the middle of the week. Again, generally holding dry conditions, but by the latter half of the week, there may be some better precipitation chances.